Welcome back to the channel. I just a minute ago was chatting with someone that is relatively young and got into the Richard Hart ecosystem basically towards the top of the market, and they're not American. Where they're from, money isn't like $1,000 means a little bit more there than here, for example. And they're down a lot, and they're depressed, and potentially a little bit suicidal. And I'm glad. I don't necessarily want everyone just messaging me, because then I won't be able to respond with any kind of, attention. But I'm glad this person messaged me. And I kind of wanted to just talk, because what this person is going through is not unique to him. Bear markets, this crazy, volatile thing called blockchain cryptocurrency, comes with ups and downs. The good times tend to be unbelievably good. The bad times tend to be almost unbelievably bad. And unfortunately, for whatever reason, this person found out about what may even in the long run be very good projects, but he got in while the euphoria was very, very high. And he's been investing on the way down, but he doesn't know if he can handle much more. And I just wanted to talk without even a lot of forethought, just ad lib here. Because like I said, I know this isn't the only person like that. And this kid's in his very early 20s. And one of my thoughts is, dude, you're so young. I did not start investing really at all until I was 27. So you can lose it all, come back multiple times, and still be ahead of where I was. And that line of thinking is, I think, the truth. Like this kid, and this is what I was trying to tell him, it's at least get this idea across, like, you're so young. Like, if you want to, you can be better because this happened to you. If you think about it, and if you want to, like, you can actually arguably be better off than if this never happened, if you want it to. If you think about this and are like, what could I have done differently so this doesn't happen again? And one thing everyone says is, and I'm trying to be a proponent of this, like, crypto's volatile. You never know what's going to happen. The downside can play out. You think it's going to go up and up and up, but there's a chance that it may not. And even for tokens that I love, like Hex, like, I'm not at all surprised with the dip that we've had. This is not even emotionally like anything, because I have the understanding that this is a part of the game that I chose to play, and if I can't handle the down, then I probably shouldn't be playing the game. But this kid, clearly did not have that mentality, and I don't necessarily blame him for it. And this is a part of the game. But if you got in without that mindset, without recognizing there's a potential down, any project you invest in can go to zero. And it's like, you kind of need to accept that reality before you invest. You have to have already decided that if the downside plays out, you can handle it. And that's why I've made videos talking from my own experience. Like, how do I play this game and sleep at night and not be nervous and wrecked? And how am I not just emotionally up and down with all the volatility, happy one day and then totally depressed the next? Because I really, honestly, truly feel freaking solid. Like, the good times don't surprise me. The bad times don't surprise me. And like I would like to be able to give that to other people. And that's something that, like, when I look back at like, what am I learning? What are the thoughts that have really helped me? Like that responsibility thing, just recognizing, what do you really know in what you're doing? Do you know it's going to go up? I don't know it's going to go up forever. I don't know. Even like I said, I like Hex. A lot of my portfolio is Hex. I don't know that it's going to work out. Like I do not know. And I've accounted for it. I know that I don't know anything. So I want to make the best educated guesses that I can. I want to look to the best explanations that I can find for why I think this is the risk and the reward. And then I want to act accordingly. I will never look back at myself and be like, Maxim, you did the best with what you had and you should be ashamed of that. I just know I can live with myself. And I'm willing to take, educated risks, basically. And for me, like that's part of that responsibility for myself. I'm willing to do it. And, that's one of the things, like, I would love to help people understand what I think I've really found some comfort in. That's just one thing. But at the same time, in bear markets, also, people capitulating, people giving up is often a sign that we're getting close to the bottom. And at the same time, like, I don't want to say this is the bottom. I do not know that this is the bottom. I see what appear to me relatively simple reasons why this may not be the bottom. The ripple effects from all the FTX things, the macro economy, even the SEC going after our community right now. It could be the bottom, but like it might not be. So I'm not gonna like give false hope. But the cool thing is, I do think there's hope, and that's where I go back to. Like for this guy specifically, you are young. If you want to, if you look to this time, ask yourself good questions like, what really happened? What could I do? Like, this is a lot of pain. What could I do to avoid this pain in the future? And I would suggest, do not stop fighting. Like, you saw something valuable and you were fighting for it, but maybe the way that you went about it could be adjusted. I say that, do not stop fighting. Because if you stop fighting for a better future, you have no better future to work for. You have nothing to live for if you're not at least trying. Like I just think that's the truth. And I recommended to this kid to read Viktor Frankl's book, Man's Search for Meaning. For what it's worth, that's been a really helpful book to me. Has a little bit to do with this, just like problems happen to people, in a way for people to emotionally get through them is to tie the hard times with something more meaningful, tie meaning into the problem itself. And like, who am I? Like, that's an honest thought. And then another thing is, like, this kid's 22. Learn from this experience. Find good mentors. If you had good mentors, this would not be the case. If he knew, if he was more educated, this would not be the case. It's okay that it is, because now he can learn. He's so young. Like I said, he can bounce back. It's okay. Yeah, these are trying times, and crypto is risky. It has a lot of potential great returns, but there's a reason. Like, if it wasn't risky, they wouldn't have returns. Everyone would invest in it, and there would be no upside because everyone's already in it. And it's just a part of the game. And yeah. So if you're one of those people that are looking at your portfolio totally depressed, most people in crypto have that experience. Most people in crypto have that experience. And it's, if you can learn from it and be better from it, then you're better. And it's like most people lose money in crypto at the beginning. and they do all the wrong things. They buy the top and sell the bottom. And I don't even want to tell people not to sell the bottom. Like, do what you feel is best. But I do know people being very emotional about how the price has gone down is often a sign that people are emotional about the price going down. And the people that have weak hands are going to be the ones that sell. And if everyone's still strong when that much emotion is there, then it's a sign that there's not much lower the price can go. And so anyway, I just wanted to talk off the top of my head. I just think, try to learn. Like, you can be better because of failure. And you might even be able to look back and not even consider this a failure. It's a thing that was painful, but now you're better for it. So was it, in the big picture, was it actually good for you? It can be. And yeah, find the wisest people you can find. Read, and if you can't find them, cool thing about books is you can talk to the wisest people that ever lived. Find good books. I have a YouTube video on some of the books that I've liked and have helped me massively. Books have helped me so much. And like, I can't even tell you, like, just because if I tried to tell you how much it would sound like bragging, but yeah, like the edge that books have given me, like, I have to be humble, but like, I can look out and see people, and I see fools everywhere. I see fools everywhere. They're not innately foolish, like they're intelligent people. They're not wise. And I know that I see them as fools not because I'm someone special. It's because I have glimpses of a little bit of wisdom that I can tell they don't have. And it sets me apart in certain areas. There's clearly people that are way better than me. But it's like, where did I get this from? Where did I get this power from? A lot of times it was from books, and making the ideas in the books my own. And it takes a while. It takes a while to like think about, understand, and like live these ideas. And I don't do it perfectly, but it's like, well, what has helped me? That's been a huge thing. And even just thinking, trying to set time aside to actually think. And so, and ironically, sometimes thinking to me is clearing my mind, like focusing on just my breathing for a while. And every thought that comes into my head, I basically tell it, it's okay. Like, all of these, you need to be sending emails, you need to be figuring out this big problem you have. Like, in my head, I'm just like, that's okay. Yes, that is a problem, but that's okay. I get all those out of my head, and then all of a sudden, like, creative, productive thoughts start coming in. And I start seeing like these books and this environment that I've tried to put myself in starts bringing me useful answers. And I feel like that's the truth. But it's not over. Yeah, I'm not even going to try to say that Hex is going to come back and you're going to be so happy. I do not know that. I am putting my money where my mouth is, I guess, in the sense my actions are showing that I think that will be the case. Like, I'm invested within my crypto portfolio. Hex is a big part of it. Hedron and Icosa are a much smaller part, but still a meaningful portion of it. And anyway, that's what's on my mind. So it's okay. Use it. Take meaning from this. Use it to be better. If you're young, you have little to worry about. Like, it's not the end of the world. You can bounce back, and you can do a lot. And yeah,